What's going on, everybody? Woo, child. Hey, T. Davis. Hey, Francisca. What's going? Ooh, y'all been up in here. What's going on, Laura? Shout out to my mods. Shout out to my mods. Y'all, we are up in here. Can y'all believe it? Going live at 6:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all know it's something up. What is going on? How y'all doing? Y'all listen, I'm trying to beat Lennon. All right, Lennon. Uh, Lennon is going live at 8 o'clock or something. I understand we share an audience. Sometimes it's just like, you know what? I don't want to, until I am blessed to get 10,000 people in a live stream. Let me make sure I just go ahead and go live, and then I can do some content on Candace. Lord have mercy. I have more videos on her coming out. She's becoming real evil. Like, I don't understand this girl. It's insane. But we got to talk about the Prince of Pan Crust Pizza. Y'all like that thumbnail? Y'all, the Prince of Pan Crust Pizza is out here doing some wild stuff. He's out here having interviews, cleaning toilets, all kinds of things. All kinds of things. It's like, okay, he obviously is listening to, me telling him to get his ass up out that chair and do some cleaning. What I find interesting is, Umar, is the fact that you're out here cleaning toilets, but yet you can't say when the school is going to open. Umar, you're not fooling no damn body. Yeah, shout out to the Danza project. I left a comment already saying, when the hell are you going to put up the rest of the interview? We all know this is part one. I'm going to play the trailer. It's 4 minutes, 25 seconds. Shout out to the lounge. She did a reaction on this yesterday. I think Jay Witt did a live earlier. And of course, I have to do mine. I got to chime in. I have to. But there's always another layer to mine, okay? Let me help you all understand why the Lady Luck Club is the queen of this. Shout out to all the great content creators. But I do have a special video at the end that I want to show from one of my fantastic sources. And I feel like it's something that at least will help, get Umar's attention. And that's exactly all I'm trying to do here. Because the bigger goal is that his mother has more than one child, and her other children want to see her. They want to spend time with her. Her grandchildren want to see her and spend time with her. And he does not control her. Umar, I've told your ass. Now, we're going to go to the court of public opinion. And you won't be able to even explain it. Oh, yeah. So I have a special video at the end. So you might want to tune in all the way to the end. I'm going to try to keep this down under 2 hours, though. Mainly because StreamYard allows me to break this stuff up. I have to do it manually if I don't. So, listen, y'all. I want to thank all of you all for tuning in. 22 people in here. Put a red heart in the chat once you've hit that like button. Hitting the like button is free to do. Subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. Consider becoming a member. Okay? Because that special video I'm going to show at the end will be members only. So you might want to become a member so that you can have access to that special video at the end. So it's going to be worthwhile. I can guarantee you that. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Happy Monday. Monday, because it's Monday. Oh, and if you guys need anything goes on with StreamYard itself, my administrator behind the scenes, Laura, shout out to Laura, one of my fantastic mods here in the LLC. All of my mods are fantastic, but Laura is the administrator to StreamYard here in the Lady Luck Club. So just let her know, and she'll email me or text me in real time and say, hey, something's happening with StreamYard. And all my mods are great with doing that. But since she does have some privilege with the system here, she can definitely reach me a lot faster behind the scene. And I appreciate that. Yeah, I have no idea. You gotta appreciate your mods when you're a content creator. What's going on to Francisca? Umar looks constipated in this picture. That was the point. Umar, you double stuffed stuffed with cheese and sauce and sausage and pork and rinds and pig feet and hog maws. You disgusting piece of crap. I can't believe he went online again on another podcast and lied his ass off. Like, if I have to say, give any level of advice to all of these content creators, anyone that has the opportunity to do an interview with Umar, don't let him lie on your platform. It is a disservice. It's disingenuous to anyone listening because your chat section is going to be flooded with people saying, after 11 years of him saying that he's going to open a school, we all know he's not going to do it. And the only people that still trust him are his most brainwashed cult members. And why perpetuate that? If he's not going to tell the truth and you know that you're not prepared to challenge him on your platform, what's the point? It just gives for good entertainment. But if that's all that person's going for, then, I don't know the Danza project. But if you're going for, views and entertainment of it all, mission accomplished. But if you're trying to actually get the truth out of this clown, you're not going to get it. All right. So we react to this because I already know Umar is a pathological liar. He's not opening nothing. You clown. All right, let's go to listen to that poop music. Lord. What time is it in the States? It is 6:22 Eastern Standard Time. You guys, are y'all ready? Lauren has 5:13 Central Standard. Francisca is in UK. Shout out to the UK. It is 23:13 UK time. All right, so it's 11:13. Is that PM? AM? Yeah, it's PM. 23:13. That's military time. Francisca, were you in the military? She giving us military time. Thought I wasn't healthy, but this guy is not healthy at all, mentally or physically. T. Davis, what's happening with you? Bernard Green, what's going on? Shout out to everybody. Speak to everybody. Candy doing too much. Everybody speak to everybody. Put red hearts in the chat once you've hit that like button. You guys are ready. I'm ready to get started. Y'all ready to get started? This is going to be something else. And I've left a comment. I'm going to show you all the comment I left on the Danza Project video asking when he's going to drop the rest of the on the next video. It's on the second video. When he's going to drop the rest of this interview. It's just like, why give us in parts, okay? We already know he's lying like hell. Just drop the whole thing, man. Put on your podcast or something. Come on. That's just me. If he's so obsessed with keeping his mother captive, just imagine how he would threaten a girlfriend. Yeah, how he'll treat it. Yeah, exactly. I got you. Yeah, it's scary stuff. Scary stuff. He got 3 or 4 women out there that's got his kids. I mean, very dangerous. Court had to, give him supervised visitation with one of the kids. Yeah, scary stuff. What's going on, Justin Dashikis and Marcus Garvey's Spirit? We almost at the finish line. We just got to fix the mirrors and get our certificate for occupancy. Oh, in the meantime, hit the PayPal. Oh, yes. Shout out to you. Is it Justin Joy too? I don't want to mispronounce your name. You let me know what you want me to call you. Yeah, man, that's fun. That's something else. That's hilarious. Y'all hit that like button. Engage in the chat. We're going to go ahead and get started. What's going on, Bernard's Expression? Shout out to all the fantastic content creators out there. The lounge. I was able to catch her live. Wasn't able to catch Jake Witt. He's so early, honey. Brother, I'm working. Deacon. Mama keep missing your live streams because it's so early. I'm at work. But you guys make sure you check out all the other fantastic content creators. I believe in that. I believe in camaraderie in the YouTube community and giving shout outs. And, hopefully everybody will do that because we do share an audience. Some of us share an audience. But if you want to support those great, fantastic content creators out there that are doing their due diligence and giving you guys great information. And I can only aspire to get to the point where they are. We're at 28,100. And I'm gonna give you all the exact number because I'm so proud. We are 28. Let me tell y'all something about how good God is. Y'all, we are at 28,258 supporters here in the Lady Luck Club. Let's keep it rolling. Oh man. Thank you all so much for the support. Thank you guys for tuning into the deep dives we're doing on Candace Owens with her previous lawsuits. You guys can see I'm trying to show a pattern of behavior just like with Umar. And sometimes it's not that difficult to distinguish, especially when you're dealing with people who are narcissists. You know, they can't think of anything or anyone but themselves. It's not that hard to pick up that pattern of behavior. And so with Candace, it's through the previous litigation issues she's had, you know, to help you all understand how she's moving when it comes to this Macron lawsuit and why it feels like, in my personal opinion, she's trying to use the death of Charlie Kirk to hide from the reality of that lawsuit from the Macrons. And let's not forget, she tried to blame the Macron's lawsuit on Charlie Kirk's death. So I just can't take her as serious. But either way, this picking up, and I can't say thank you all enough. I appreciate all of you for the support, supporting all the great content in the Lady Luck Club. Even though I know you all are here for Umar, so we're gonna get to it. 42 people watching. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. It's free to do. Hit the like button. Dr. Squatch products will be tagged in the video description. I'm just trying to give out all the announcements while people still coming. Dr. Squatch products, we have a partnership with them. Will be tagged in the description of the video and any other videos that I use to splice up. And you guys can purchase those products by clicking on the tag products. And I do receive a commission here in the Lady Luck Club. It does go towards the actual platform and the channel and the expenses and such. I still got to get a new, like a spotlight or whatever, some sort of lighting so that I can get back on camera again. If I were to come on camera now, let me show you all, it would be so dark in here. Hold on, let me put on a backdrop. Because I want you all to see why. Because everybody's like, why you keep turning your camera on? Because it's dark as hell. It's really dark. I'm not making it up. But yeah, the lighting is so bad. You can barely see me with this backdrop. Barely. So I have a lamp. That's it. And that's not enough lighting. And as it gets darker where I am, it's gonna get darker in where I'm at doing the video. So I need a new light. I'm gonna have to get that taken care of soon. Just be patient with me. I appreciate all of you all for doing that. So in the meantime, like, camera off. That's it. it's pretty much that. Oh man, we just gotta fix some mirrors inside the building. We have to finish. Truth using logic. What's going on? We also have a $25 goal every live stream, you guys, and that also goes towards the expenses of the channel. Sometimes we meet the goal, sometimes we don't. But what we don't do is the Umar shit. Hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, hit the Zelle, hit the Supers. I'm not gonna beg. I just appreciate likes and subscribers and sharing this content, telling everybody about it. Post it up on Facebook. Somebody tag Umar in it and say, Lady Luck Club is tearing your ass up, boy. Umar, you can kiss my ass. What's going on, Tanya? How you doing? What's happening? All right, y'all ready? Rosetta, what's happening? Oh, I see new people coming up in here. Yeah, that's dark. I know, right? New subscriber, Rosetta. BSNRN. Okay. I see you, girl. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the new subs, the new members, everybody in here. Y'all speak. Come into the chat. You don't have to hide in the bushes. Give a heart. Hit that like. Give a heart. Give a heart. Give a heart. Y'all, Jay Witt wants you all to do it as well. Make sure you all are hitting that like. He said, make sure you just tell them to put the number like they are when they come in. I was like, you know what? I forget about that every single time. But yeah, that's a good idea. So Jay Witt wants you all to hit that daggone like button and put a heart in the chat and put a number of what number like you are. It's something to the extent. But we do what the deacon says, okay? Shout out to Jay Witt. All right, y'all, let's get started. Let me make myself smaller. We got almost 50 people watching. 50 likes. 50 likes. Even if you're a hater, just hit the like button. You're already here. Let's not be stubborn. Y'all ready? Let's go. Put a 1 in the chat when you can see and hear. Let's get to it.
I had a wild guest that kind of kept us a little bit on edge a lot. My loyalty has always been like, oh, I'm with you. I tried to get you to sit down with this gentleman on the show. Everything went left for a little bit because it was like, oh, I'm going to make it happen and this and that. And I apologize for trying to force that issue and trying to make that happen because you clearly stated initially it's not something you were looking to do. And I shouldn't have been pushing it. And so for that, I would like to start this episode out with an apology.
No problem, bro. We've been almost done for so long. Now we're at the floors, but I'm still scared to say we done, because every time I say we done, something else comes up. So, you know, I ain't been saying nothing. My thing is...
Yeah, because he knows better. Umar, you walking void. What are you talking about the floors are done? Weren't you just in the building where we saw a ceiling tile still missing? And then let's not forget the countless videos where there's black mold growing on the building. So to the Danza project, it's okay to do a little research before you let somebody come on your platform. You could have literally challenged him on that. We're just at the preview. Let me just wait till the 16 part 1 of this starts. But we're just at the preview, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna try my best not to interrupt him.
When it's done, that's when I'll announce it. You know what I mean? I was supposed to go back to the Breakfast Club, and I text Charlamagne. I said, I'm not coming back up there one more time to tell people we almost done. You feel me? When we done, I'll schedule with you. I'm not going up to Power 105 again until we done. I'm tired of saying it myself. Marcus Garvey never said take everybody back to Africa. He never had a back to Africa movement. The media called it that. Marcus Garvey said some of you are...
What media called it the back to Africa movement? Who would name it that? It's so outlandish. Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of laughing in this damn video. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Oh my
no
God.
Good in America and will likewise be no good in Africa. I have no intention of resettling every African in the diaspora back home, and neither do I. What I want to take blonde wigs and bunny hoppers, basketballs and footballs and weaves and perms and Air Jordans, hell, video game systems.
You can't
Africa got enough problems as it is. She don't need us coming over there with more toxicity. I believe in a...
Wow, the fact that he can admit to that is astounding. The fact that he is able to say that if he went to the entire continent of Africa, because somehow Umar does not know that Africa is a continent, not a country. But he's admitting they went over there. They would basically be a burden and bring more toxicity. They don't need his bullshit, because of course they don't. Umar, what's the chance of anyone in the continent of Africa welcoming you with open arms, knowing that you've been scamming from people for over 11 years about this school? What's the chances of that happening? To the entire continent of Africa, if he does land over there, whoop his ass. Just whoop his ass.
Scientific, strategic Pan-Africanism, where only those who are in their right mind and who are going to the mother continent to contribute something should go to Africa. I don't believe you just go because you African. No. What are you going to do when you get there? Biggest issues with women. 4 biggest issues. Number...
Same question posed to you, Umar. What the hell are you going to do when you get over there? What are you going to do? Because you've done nothing in the United States of America. You know, because this is the country and the continent is North America. I can't believe you don't know. Africa's a continent.
One, insecurity about other women. I'm a school psychologist by profession. Who's raising most of our kids? The mothers. So there's going to be women around all the time because that's who I have to serve to help the babies. If you're not secure in who you are, you're not going to be able to exercise composure and discipline when it matters most, and you'll end up embarrassing you and embarrassing me. So the insecurity.
So because he has no self-control at 51 years old and he's sitting here pointing the finger like he's 16, Umar, you act as if your ball sack just dropped. Like you just discovered your hormones or something. You're worse than my kids. And my oldest is 17. You're worse than him. And you're supposed to be 51. So if you don't have any self-control or inability to hold your composure when you're around a woman, that's your fault. That is your fault. And what about the men who are in their children's lives and care about their education? Whether they're with the mother or not, do you understand, Umar? Simply because you can't do this, but there are a lot of people out there that are mature enough to co-parent. So whether the mother or the father are married or in a relationship or not is irrelevant when it comes to the children. There are a lot of young black men, younger than him, that have the ability to co-parent. And he can't seem to grasp that concept. Because he doesn't care.
Security about other women, that's a big deal. You got to be comfortable in your skin. There's always going to be a woman who looks better than you, but you need to understand that I'm committed to you. And when I look back over these 15 years, there were some good women I dated, bro, but they were very insecure about other women. I could not do it. So that's one. Number 2, confidentiality.
Who the hell want to be with this fluffy little Debbie snack cake on all fours, running around cheating on them 24/7? Umar, you a womanizer. While you sit here talking about cuddling by the fireside with little boys and they dressed up six.
Talk too much. You can't chat my business because I got too many enemies. Not everything. Well, this is my girlfriend. I don't give a damn. She ain't my girlfriend.
Argument with Ish, right? The snow bunnies.
Okay.
So when it comes to a Latino, if you see a black man dating a Latino woman,
does she identify as African full time would be the question. So and brothers text me all the time, right? Oh, I'm dating a Latino woman. Is that okay, Doc? Am I bunny hopping? How does she identify? Travis Hunter's wife. She showed her mother.
Is he really sitting here saying that this person needs to acknowledge some level of ethnicity as an African 24/7? Like it's a job. He's treating the concept of what you relate to or consider yourself to be regarding race or ethnicity to be a job. Like you can just turn that off and on. Umar, everyone is not like you. You can walk around here and fake the funk and pretend all you want. At the end of the day, you still don't know how to clean a toilet. You can't just turn that off. If someone is from the continent of Africa, or you have, African Americans, or anyone in the continent of Africa in a particular country that calls or refers to themselves as, Kenyan, because they were born in Kenya. We're American over here because we were born in the United States of America. You act as if that's something you can turn off and on like a light switch. What kind of nonsense is it? He need to stop talking to these spirits because they just effing his head all up.
The mother chocolate. I forget her ethnicity. What is his? Is she Dominican? What is?
I don't know what she is.
Travis Hunter's wife. Look that up real quick. But the mother is chocolate, Latino, but clearly Afro-Latino, darker than me.
Yeah,
darker than me. But guess what? I don't think she raised her daughter to be an African Latino.
Reparations. What? Do you feel that is a real possibility?
It absolutely.
So if I don't raise my kids to be African American, something that they're actually just based on ethnicity and race and genes and DNA, if they're not, if I'm not raising them to be African American, all obviously, I'm a complete disservice to my children. Oh, you don't raise your children as African, but whatever. You can be Dominican Republic, can be dark skinned. This is unbelievable. What about the son? I mean, does he really think that someone from the Dominican Republic has to be a certain shade of black? As if there aren't variations of that? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, man.
But not without unity. Man. Now, if I was in charge of the reparations movement, a couple things. Number one, if you're a bunny hopper, you ain't getting no reparations at all. You're not going to take my ancestors' pay and take it right back to the damn Neanderthal queen. We're not doing that. So any interracial, you're banned from getting it. And here's another thing. When Negroes say we need to be segregated again, we did better. Does that also mean you want to give your white wife back? Because that was part of the segregation. You feel me? They say we need to be segregated again because we did better under segregation. That means you have to give your snow bunny back. Or are you going to do that? Hell no. So shut up. You don't want segregation back because she got to go back.
What was that? Hold on. When did anyone ever say we did better under segregation? Are you kidding? This is so absurd. It's like he's just saying a bunch of words that have no substance. Explain this to me again. I gotta go back. You can't make this stuff up. First of all, Umar, no one will put you in charge of ensuring that any African American or anyone of African descent, because of the continent of Africa, get some sort of reparations. No one would ever put you in charge of that when you have lied 11 years about building and opening a school. You can't even accomplish the one thing you said you were going to do for over 11 years. Who in their right mind would trust you to be the leader of reparations when you can't open a school? You're not even acknowledging the fact that it has black mold. Let me tell y'all something. By no means are most of us this dumb to let him be the leader of anything. You all realize we the people who understand and know the truth in this reality on earth outweigh the number of people brainwashed by Umar. We outnumber them. It's not even funny because most people are coming to the realization that may have started out supporting him that after 11 years, he's not going to open the school. He won't even walk through the entire school with a camera. He certainly is not trying to allow his supporters to go and do a tour. You don't even have to let the critics, ops, haters, whatever you want to call us, struggle streamers, blah, blah, blah. You don't even have to let us in the school. Let your cult members in the school. He won't even do that. Unbelievable.
You feel me? They say we need to be segregated again because we did better under segregation. That means you have to give your snow bunny back. Or are you going to do that? Hell no. So shut up. You don't want segregation back because she got to go back. Remember, Loving versus Virginia was 1967. That's when the Supreme Court outlawed interracial bans on interracial marriage. That was all part of the civil rights era. So you can't say put me back in segregation, but let me keep my white girl. All or nothing. They're not going to give up that white girl. In fact, a lot of them Negroes fought for deseg so they can desegregate the pale vagina. Let's keep it a buck, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a really special.
Okay, this is part 1 of this interview. Let me tell you something, Umar. You dumb clown. Reparations would be if a person is even able to trace their roots, genetically speaking, back to Africa and prove that their descendant was a slave in America. Do you think simply because we have melanin that every single person with melanin would get reparations? Are you out of your mind? If that be the case, don't you think the government would just release a bunch of black money to people? And I say black money, a bunch of black money to people because they have melanin in their skin. Not because they have proven to be a descendant of a slave in the U.S. So you're basically asking for a free fall. You really think the government would do something like that? Of course, there would be a criteria. He's not even acknowledging the obvious here. Okay, you can't make this shit up, bro. I'm telling you something right now. I'm telling you something right now, y'all. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit for the sake of brevity because there is another video I want to get to after this where he's cleaning toilets and shit. And then, of course, the surprise video at the end. But, oh my God.
Special episode of the Danza Project, something that we've been trying to get going for some time. And like I have been more recently, I've been starting off my shows, seems like a lot with like apologies. You know, as I've kind of been, I'm starting to settle in. As a podcaster, as a media personality, and as people are starting to get to know me, I really want to let them know who I am and what I'm about. Now, I went into a wild phase of podcasting, and I had a wild guest that kind of kept us a little bit on edge a lot. And my loyalty has always been like, oh, I'm with you. And I tried to get you to sit down with this gentleman on the show. And everything went left for a little bit because it was like, oh, I'm going to make it happen and this and that. And I apologize for trying to force that issue and trying to make that happen because you clearly stated initially it's not something you were looking to do, and I shouldn't have been pushing it. And so for that,
you know what's so funny? When did Umar ever mention he would be on the Danza project? When was this interview even scheduled? Because you would think he would brag about this, right? One would think that if he was invited to come on the Danza project and there was some time lapse between when he received the invitation and accepted it, why would he not brag on that? It's nothing that the public can do to the Danza project if he still wants Umar on his channel. It's going to happen either way. See, the problem is Umar is scared of people like Charleston White. He's scared of people that are going to challenge him. And even the ones that have challenged him that have a level of notoriety here, like Lord Jamar, you know, it was still from an angle where he's trying to help, not just bash him. But Umar, being, you know, the narcissist he is with the fragile ego he has and no spine, he takes every little thing he does not like and call it, oh, you're being a hater, or you're just being negative, or you're being critical and you're not helping. Well, what do I care what you think? You don't donate to the school. So everyone that has ever said anything he doesn't like or point out the truth about this school, I guess we're all just haters. Okay, so prove us wrong and actually do a tour. He won't present evidence to support anything he says, and he definitely does not want to be challenged like that. And what if his supporters actually start demanding that he gives them an inside tour of both of the buildings? What if they actually start demanding that? What if they actually grew a brain, a conscience, and a soul, thought logical and rational, and said, we're not sending another dime until you allow us to come into these schools. We're on your side. We're not trying to fight you, but we want some assurance that this school is progressing forward to open. That's the least that they can demand of him. And then if they see he's not willing to do it, ask him why. Because black mold and all. That's the least they can do. But they won't even do that. So why didn't he mention this again?
I would like to start this episode out with an apology.
No problem, bro. Appreciate it.
Wisdom. Growth.
And Dr. Umar is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Now, what's going on, Kato? How you feeling, my brother?
Man, I'm riding on a high, man.
Yeah.
Came back with a vengeance. Last few episodes have just been crazy.
Absolutely.
Topping it off with this and more to come.
Yeah.
We on a roll.
And this is one of them that I kind of been hiding when I speak to people. I'm like, oh, man, I'm telling you, we got a great episode. This episode is going to be phenomenal. So, again, my name is Danza.
Hey, yo, Kato.
Hey,
and this is the Danza Project, and we have Dr. Umar. Now, before we get into any type of conversation, I want to know where you're at, because you're constantly working.
Trying to think
and
of
when
lies.
I mean working, you're doing a lot more than most.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like,
Yes,
it's
sir.
not just the conversations that you're having on podcasts. It's the work that you're doing in the communities.
Right.
The conversations that you're having with the youth and with people in general. Where are you at mentally right now? How do you feel?
What conversations?
I guess for me,
Pause. What conversations, Danza Project? What conversations is he having here? Because every time he gets in a video, he's either cussing people out or blocking them. Because he doesn't, like criticism or questions or anything. So how is he having healthy conversations with people who are just truly, genuinely concerned here? What kind of conversations is he having? Have I missed some videos that I need to see here where he's having real conversations with people to do something legitimate? Because so far we've gotten a lot of threats and doxing and threats with litigation, how he's treating Marianne Lorient. Like, none of that somehow crept into the back of your mind, Danza. And I'm not attacking you. Shout out to you for being brave enough to do this. But, I mean, that's stuff that you can see in videos. So either he's really trying to ignore all the dumb shit Umar has done, or he's aloof and he has not done any research. And when I say aloof, meaning he's not aware, because there's a definition for that word.
the one thing that I just want to finalize is the renovations on the FDMG Academy. You know, we've been almost done for so long, and now we at the floors. But I'm still scared to say we done, because every time I say we done, something else comes up. So, you know, I ain't been saying nothing. My thing is, when it's done, that's when I'll announce it. You know what I mean? I was supposed to go back to the Breakfast Club, and I text Charlamagne. I said, I'm not coming back up there one more time to tell people we almost done. You feel me? Yeah. When we done, I'll schedule with you. I'm not going up to Power 105 again until we done. I'm tired of saying it myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So when we done, that's when I'll do it, man. But we real close. When I fly back home tomorrow, I got to get to the school. They laying the floors now, and once that's done, we'll be applying for our certificate of occupancy. That's going to be interesting because the city has not been our friend. They try to sell the school behind.
So let me just remind you all, a fantastic content creator by the name of the Mademoiselle did a FOIA request for any inspection reports, for any documentation or anything to show there's any level of progression on regarding the school. And the response they sent her, because I pulled it up in the previous video, was that there were no such records to be found that they can forward over in that request. No such records exist. He's sitting here talking about a certificate of occupancy as if the average person cannot Google what does it take to get a certificate of occupancy. First thing will be an inspection. He thinks he's so smart, but yet he doesn't realize we're picking up the fact that you omit things that are just important facts that people need to know. You can't get one without the other. You can't get the certificate of occupancy without the inspection report. Who are the damn vendors again? We're waiting on James Miller to produce that evidence. Umar, stop coming into my chat under people's names.
On our back last month for some frivolous expenses that we should not have even owed. So I'm going to stay positive, but I'm not looking forward to the inspection because, they can nitpick you to death on that.
Absolutely.
So when people say when you're going to actually be done, that's not in our hands. We have to see what the city says, but I'm hoping after all we've been through, they just say, go ahead.
No.
If it's all annoying.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, go ahead while you got all that toxic black mold growing on the buildings and probably through the foundation. Yeah, go ahead and do that. You know what? Why don't you do a full tour inside the school so we can see exactly what it looks like, or let us come in? Because that's exactly what the city would do. If they do an inspection, they have to do a walk-through inspection. That's part of OSHA. You cannot have black mold growing inside the school, fail to treat it, try to cover it up with paint. No vendor or contractor on record having gone in, treated the mold, and think that an inspector would just let you go through because you, Umar, decided to take 6.5 years, raise money, and then use those donation dollars to pay our personal litigation matters and settlements, but not somehow get one contractor to do something. You cleaned the toilets, but you didn't do anything to address the issues that would not pass an inspection. They would come in and do a full walkthrough. How the hell would that go when you don't want to do it, Umar? You're a clown, boy. Umar's a clown.
Just passing, but that hasn't been the experience. Like everything we've been through with the city has been a fight, even to get a permit for the festival.
You can't make this up.
They ain't want to give us that. So it's really been a tug of war with them. I'm just hoping that we don't have to have a protest. I'm hoping we don't have to take them to court for discrimination. The bureaucracy is mostly black. The mayor's white, but the bureaucracy is black. But discrimination is discrimination, even if you're the same color. So I'm just, I'm gonna just put it in the Lord's hands and see. But we knocking on the finish line. So if all goes well, we should be able to apply for the inspection before the end of the year.
And this is
which Lord are you referring to, Umar? Because I get the feeling that you and I do not serve the same God. Especially when you keep giving this God of yours all these various names as opposed to just saying God altogether. Who are you praying to?
Something that most people don't understand. Just starting a business is tough.
What do you mean?
And when you're doing something in the community, it's going to be a lot tougher. When you're dealing with that much square footage, they could find something wrong anywhere. Oh, well, in this corner here. But a lot of people that have never started a business, have never gotten any type of education, what it's like. They have
never
no idea.
opened a school, never ran a school, but they're experts in our school.
Yeah.
Danza. I know damn well. See, this is proof that he either is trying to overlook all of the issues or he seriously has not done his homework. Danza Project. All you have to do is watch 3 video tours that were recently done. You got one from FamerTube. You got one from the Mademoiselle. You have 2, I think, from Uncle Mo TV. Shout out to all of them. You already have enough video evidence to show what's going on with the school currently. How do you not know these videos exist and that the school has black mold? This isn't about running a business. This is something Umar chose to do. And he can't even handle the responsibility of it. Did the Danza Project, did you ever even think about reading that writ of monition again? Or going on the website and look at court activity? The court docket? Have you thought about doing that much? He can't even pay the water bill like he should. This is unbelievable.
And I don't get into it, but I hear a lot of it because my supporters send me the clips, and I've heard ridiculous things. I heard people say you can get an HVAC for $5,000. Right. It's a $50,000 unit up there. That was the cheap one. You feel me?
Yeah.
This is not a house. This is a school. You're not getting no HVAC for no $5,000. You know what I mean? Every utility that we had repaired, plumbing, HVAC, electric, every one cost us well over $100,000. Nothing was under $100K for repair. So when I hear people say he could have got this done for $5,000, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a whole nother level. But my thing is,
nope, only one level. It's called a proposal, an RFP, or right to propose or right for proposal. If you have vendors and contractors coming in to do anything, you should have a contract in place. So what the hell are you talking? It's not another level. It's very basic. It's not that difficult. If you don't know what you're doing, Umar, why not hire someone that can be a consultant or an attorney even to help you through this? Shout out to LeBron James and Jalen Rose, who both have schools in multiple locations, because they didn't just sit around telling people they were going to open it. They actually put people in their inner circle to help them accomplish the damn goal. When Jamar, I'm not going to say Lord, when Jamar tried to give him some help by actually putting people around him, connecting him to people that could help him, he rejected it. So how exactly is he trying to get the school open? You know how many people have their own businesses? So his whole argument on this is so stupid. It's a moot point. Even if you're not a business owner, how difficult is it to Google what does it take to open a school? And I actually did that. I did that. I think I did it. Was it last week? Week before? Yeah, I have a whole Umar Johnson playlist. Make sure you check that out. I have touched on that and actually showed facts and receipts on that. Several content creators have. Now, all of a sudden, no one knows anything because you don't have a business or you're not contributing to the scam.
If you never did it, why are you speaking on it? And if you're not doing anything for the people, why are you speaking on it? See, that's my thing. Definitely. I don't think people who don't do work could criticize people who do work. Now, if you're doing the work, you say, look, I built me a relevant institution. You can speak to it because you did it. We're being questioned and criticized by people who do nothing. And that's why I'm so tight-lipped on it.
Because I'm like, I don't owe you no answers.
On top of the fact you never donated. On top of the fact you never drove by there and picked up a piece of trash.
Do you have proof of who's donated, Umar? You know, because I'm itching to tell these people, y'all need to try to get your money back. Get a refund. Report his ass to the IRS. I went over that tax form you could use to file a complaint to the IRS against a 501c3 at that. You can't make this up.
You questioning something that you don't support financially. You questioning something that you've never been a part of in your entire life. You've never been a part of anything that progressive as building an institution. So why are you expecting me to be accountable to you?
And so how do you keep it together? Back to that mental health thing. Like, how do you feel?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
The haters, the struggle streamers, they really helped toughen me up to the criticism because we've been dealing with it from the first day we took a donation in St. Louis, Missouri, April of 2014. When the St. Paul's College in Virginia went up for sale, because that's what we wanted. We wanted that HBCU, but they wanted $2 million and we couldn't raise it in time, so they sold it to the Asians who currently have it now. So then that's when we said, well, we just gonna find us a regular school. So from 2014 till 2019, we school hunted. We found FDMG in 2017, but we couldn't afford it at the time. So we just stayed in negotiations with the owners, and then finally, February 2019, they gave it to us. So 5 years to find a school, which in my opinion, that's not a long time to raise the money and find it. 5 years ain't bad at all. And then you go from 19 to 25, right? So you're looking at 6 years of us renovating. It should have only taken us 2 or 3, but there was a lot of scamming going on with the contractors we were using. We really got done dirty by them. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to use Caucasian work because I wanted to keep the money in the community. The people who gave us the money black. I want to keep the project black. Right. But I had to wake up one day and say, yo, if you're waiting on your people to do this for you, it may not get done. And let me put that in context. You're talking about the second smallest state in the country, right? So you don't have much to pull from anyway. And then the city of Wilmington requires that your contractors be licensed in the state and licensed in the city. So for example, in Pennsylvania, if you're licensed.
Is he just not figuring that out? You know, because he's supposed to be a smart businessman and all. Do you not know that they should be licensed in the state that they're getting work in, or in the city they're getting work in? Is that new to you, Umar? That's, man, anyone that's worked in any level of construction or project management, or you work for the city or the state or even federal government, when it comes to vendors and contractors, and you're talking about anything related to construction and you're building or renovating a school for children, of course you have to be licensed. You can't be licensed in the state of California trying to do some work in the state of, Connecticut. Well, They don't care about you being licensed in California. Go do some work over in California. There's a reason for that. It's called accountability. If something happens and you have this contractor that's not licensed in the city or state, they're performing the work, it's negligence. So if they cause some sort of harm on people, they shouldn't be doing the work in the first place. They can get sued. Being licensed in the city or state, you're actually doing the contract work. It's a protection for the vendor. So if something goes wrong, the insurance will cover any damages or even lawsuits. If it's the fault of the vendor or the contractor, the insurance probably won't cover it all the way, or they may cover it with stipulation. It could be part of a settlement. So being licensed helps the actual vendor or the contractor. It protects them. It's so crazy. It's no different than being a doctor or an attorney. You go to another state where you're not licensed to practice medicine, forget the actual medical degree. You need to be licensed because doctors have to get malpractice insurance. So if something wrongs, then it goes through the insurance. They pay into that. Having a certificate is like an assurance. So if something happens, they're not getting sued because they're not even certified. He can't be new to this.
It's about a Commonwealth. You can do work anywhere in the state. You got to be licensed in Delaware and then licensed again in Wilmington. You're already dealing with a small pool of available contractors, and then they add that on top. So I say it all the time. We have the best situation in the worst location. This is crazy. And when I say worst location, I'm simply speaking of the limited pool of resources in terms of contractors and the strict stipulations that are required for you to work on a project there. If that same school was in Detroit, Chicago, Philly, we'd be done already. Only because you got so many plumbers, you got so many HVAC, you got so many electric. You can go through 30 of them until you hit the right one. But you in the second smallest state, only a handful of black folks, you know what I mean? Yeah. Contractors that you can really, go to. And everybody we used came highly recommended, by the way. We didn't just grab people. These were people say, get him, get them. We got the people we were told to get, and they still didn't do it right.
But when the pool is so small.
There's emails that Lennon has shown, I believe Jay Witt has shown, and information, man, I think you may have shown something where contractors, and Malik has even helped to present information where you had vendors or contractors reach out to him willing to take vacation time that they could be using for anything else to go to the school to do some work on the school. All he needed to do is ensure that he had the permits in place. And he still did not take that offer up. What about the offer from Jamar? This is what I mean by even the Danza project not being more researched with this right now. Well, why are these grown men scared to just tell him the truth? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? He doesn't come on your show. He's talking about he's not going back to the Breakfast Club because he basically don't want to get caught up in more lies, which, he's never going to go back because the school will never open. It has to pass inspection. Those buildings, I hope they bulldoze them down before he thinks that he's going to be able to treat all that black mold. You can't make this shit up, man.
When the competition is great, it's tough,
And we ran into situations where sometimes if I don't take the plumber, the electrician say I can't take the job. You feel me? Because that's my man. Right. So since you're not taking him, I can't do it. I'm like, damn, what that got to do with you? I need this. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of that where I like the electrician, don't like the plumber. Exactly. I like the HVAC guy, don't like the electrician. So, it's networks. Yeah. And you're dealing with a really small city and you are outsider coming from Philly. I had to deal with some of that too. You know what I mean? Because even though I get a lot of love in Wilmington and a lot of love across Delaware, you still got them people say, we don't need him here. You know what I mean? We don't need no big city dude coming down here. We can handle our own business. But I'm not here for you. I'm here for the kids. You know what I mean? Because people say, why did you choose Wilmington? And I like Wilmington. I love the energy there. I really do. But people say, why did you choose Wilmington? I didn't choose Wilmington. I chose the school that was in Wilmington. In other words, we wasn't shopping for cities. We shopping for building. And that had the best building that we found.
If that was the best building that he could find, that the EPA had at one point deemed to be contaminated and recommended for it to be demolished, if that is the best he could find, then I want to know what were the other options, and I want to hear that from the city itself. Because I highly doubt he has no, consciousness of lying on the city. He's done it previously about some emails and the writ of monition. He lied like hell on those people in the city. They had to send emails to debunk his defamation because he was making provable false statements and had a reckless disregard for the truth when the facts were presented. Has yet to acknowledge it. But yet he has the audacity to sit here and threaten Marianne Lorient with litigation. Umar, you are a sloppy piece of shit right now. You sloppy.
Should have been in Detroit. But once the archdiocese found out who I was, they wouldn't sell me none of the schools. I knew we was in Detroit. Me and my mother was preparing to move to Detroit. I said, Mom, we're going to Detroit. We out. It's going to be cold. She said, I don't care. Let's go. And then the Jewish realtor for the archdiocese, and I thought that was interesting, that the archdiocese had a, because if you understand that history, but he said they want to see your curriculum. I said, we buying the school cash money. What you need to see my curriculum for? This ain't no charter school. You follow what I'm saying? This ain't no lease.
Right.
I'm buying and we done. What you want to know what I'm teaching for? I said, you can't get that.
Do they think you're pushing religion? Is it a religious thing? Like, where's the pushback in that city?
I think it's just that they knew who I was and wasn't going to sell. And guess what? Every school in Detroit that we wanted, still sitting there. So that's why I tell people you got to understand that when it comes to white people, they're more about power than money. Yeah. If they was about the money, they would have sold us the building. They all there. They was about the control. We don't want him teaching.
Who is this us? Because the tax documents, Umar, for FDMG Leadership Academy only has you listed as the executive director. Do you have any power to make these decisions on your own? I'm curious to know that. You have any power to do that? Because right now, what I've seen is a deed that doesn't have you listed on it individually. So this is the thing. Who is we? He doesn't have a job where he's pulling in revenue and he can prove that he put his own personal money into this. He is using donations. If that, who paid that water bill and those judgments off with the court, Umar? Because so far, based on the court docket activity, it had a power of attorney named Colleen Redmond. You have not proven that you paid that yourself. Where's the receipt for you paying anything? Because the court listed her as the one who paid off the balances with the court. The power of attorney paid it off based on the court docket activity and the court records, not you. So who the hell is this we again?
That. You feel me? We rather not make the money.
Detroit looks like Detroit.
Yes. Oh, man. Oh, man. I learned so much in the school hunt. I remember I was going to lease a school in Mount Vernon, New York, Catholic school. And the supervisor said, I got to call the Vatican. I said, what? He said, I said, you got to call Rome? He said, I got to call Rome. I said, why you got to call Rome? He said, what did he say? He said about half the Catholic schools in America are still managed directly from the Vatican. He had to call the Vatican and ask if he could lease the school to Dr. Umar. And of course, they said, hell no. Yeah, so. And he also told me that the Vatican is the second largest property owner either in the United States or in the world. I didn't know that. White boy was dropping all these jewels on me. He said, we own much property. I didn't know that either. So that's crazy. So when you hear about that, United States, London, Rome Connect, that's real. Them 3 city-states that don't answer to nobody, that's very real. That's very real.
It's very interesting how you mentioned about the contracting. Yeah. Right? Because, people could say whatever the hell they want. When you go into that, it's tough. I got a lot of friends that are into real estate. And I'm from a city, Buffalo, New York. It's a small city similar to the way Detroit operates. Yes, sir. And, they'll get contractors. They'll get it all set up. And the job is done terribly.
Sorry, what's so tough right now? I'm still trying to get past this hurdle where he thinks this is all so tough when he has had opportunities after opportunities after opportunities to have free services rendered through vendors who are licensed and certified. I'm talking about professional HVAC techs, people specializing in plumbing, electric, wiring, electricians, even getting someone that can help treat the black mold. He's had people offer, he let somebody put up a gate. That goes to show where his priority is. You got a gate within the last 2 or 3 years for one of the 2 schools, but you could not make sure that the lights on the school buildings were replaced. You're just not cleaning out a toilet, but yet trash everywhere else on a wheelchair ramp. An accessible ramp has trash on it. No one in a wheelchair would be able to go down that ramp. And yet this is somehow so hard for him. What the hell? Danza project is feeding into that nonsense like he's egging them on at this point.
Yep. And it's just war. Yep. You know, it's just like, okay, well, what do I do about this? Now we gotta rip it out. Yep. You know, it's just a thing that most people don't have a clue about.
They have no clue about it. And then when somebody don't finish their work, so let's say the electricians don't finish their work, you got to get another electrician. No contractor, what I saw, they never want to say the previous contractor did a good job. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like, we got to do it over. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't build from where they left. Nah, they didn't do it. Nobody was able to say we could pick up where they started. You know what I mean? The plumbers, nah, they didn't do this right. And I know they did it right, but you just want to get paid the full thing. Yeah. Project. So we had to deal with that, you know. But the white folks, they did it. They charged us up. They overcharged us, but at least they finished the job. You know what I mean? So that's where we at. And then you have people say, well, you know, if he's on his Pan-Africanism and his Garveyism platform, why would he let white people do the work? You have to distinguish and differentiate between charity and business. We don't accept donations from non-Africans, right? But if I have to pay a non-African to do a job, that's business. That's not a handout. They're not volunteering. They're not giving us nothing.
No, that's hypocrisy, because there's no reason why you should say that any other person's green money is not good enough for you to accept, but you rather continue to wreak havoc and to rake black people over the coals. You're literally expecting only people who are affiliated with themselves being an African of some sort to give you all the money. Never mind the fact that these people could be struggling living check to check, because I don't see the wealthier people who are just doling out cash like that. Once again, where are the expense reports or receipts of proof to show that not only did you receive money from various people, but yet you spent it on vendors and contractors? Because the person that put up that damn gate did it for free. So if you're getting free service, why are you telling people that you paid them? And where's the contract with these vendors again? Because that's not how that shit works. Yeah, part of the inspection process is that you need to show that there is some sort of contract in place with the actual school, Umar, or the vendor and the contractor. You have to prove that there's a contract that exists. Otherwise, you're letting people just go out, do shit random, and you're claiming you're paying them for something. You can't even submit evidence with receipts to show. So who the hell he paying again? James Miller, we're still waiting for that email.
We're paying them to do a job. You see, it's like if I have a store and a white person comes in and buys from my store, that's no contradiction. That's business. But if I got white folks coming in there financing me, that's a contradiction. You see, so people say, well, that's a contradiction. You got white folks doing the work. That's called business, bro. That's just business. Fee for service. It's not a handout. Now, if they was financing us, that would be a contradiction because you give up your sovereignty with them.
And so how do you keep it together? Because that sounds extremely stressful.
You give up your sovereignty.
I'll tell you how I keep it together. Number one, I believe I was born to do the work that I do. Okay. That's the priority. The number one, people say, how you keep going through this? Somebody texted me today when I was on my way here. They said, I'm trying to understand how you continue to keep going after everything people throw at you. Like your bounce back game is crazy. You know what I mean? And for me, I know I was born to do what I'm doing. When you know why you here, you can put up with any what. It's not a thing where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be building.
Why are you here, Umar? Why do you roam upon humanity on Earth? And I'm not asking for your purpose in life, because we all know that you are just a walking pyramid scheme. Why are you here on Earth, roaming the Earth? Shout out to Malik. Email me, please. And you can definitely come on. I'll do a live tomorrow if I have to, so you can come up. Y'all understand this is part one. For some reason, the Danza project just decided to just release bits and pieces at a time, because it's, too much like right to just release the entire video. So, you could do both. To the Danza project, just release the whole damn interview. This is absurd. Hopefully you do some research as well. There's no way he's not aware of everything that's going on with this school. He didn't even do a Google search. So tomorrow, if you want, Brother Malik, you can definitely come up and explain, his lies in this interview. I would, be more than happy for you to come up and explain what's going on, because that would be fantastic. And it's something people need to hear. So reach out to me and we can set up a live for tomorrow for Brother Malik to come up and give us, the goods and spill the beans on this. Umar, you're an idiot.
School. You feel me? I don't have that.
No doubt.
I know I'm supposed to do it, so I got to deal with whatever comes with it. So number one, I know I'm doing the work I was born to do. That's number one.
Thank you.
Number two, I've never cared about what people thought too much. You know what I mean? Like some people, they got to be viewed positively by outsiders. I don't.
They won't be like,
I don't care what people think or what people say. And I believe my popularity had a lot to do with that too, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't know if it's going to hurt your feelings. I don't know if you're going to like it. I don't know if you're going to love it, but I'm going to be honest. And I think people have grown to appreciate the honesty of my message, because I get people stop me in the airport all the time. I don't agree with everything you say. You know what I mean? But you're consistent. Whereas a lot of these other guys out here who claim to be into the conscious movement, they not consistent. They'll flip-flop. 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, based on what gets the attention, what gets the money. I've never capitulated my position. You know what I mean? And I think thirdly, I practice Yoruba spirituality. And in Yoruba spirituality, you're born with a guardian angel, guardian spirit. Mine is Ogoonie. Ogoonie is the spirit of war, iron, perseverance, determination. Don't quit. Work hard.
Come on.
That's my guardian spirit.
The word salad on this is unbelievable. I got to take it back a little bit. I have to. Because it's like he's avoiding saying anything that Danza Project could merely question here. This is the worst softball interview I have ever witnessed in my entire life. And I'm not hating on the Danza Project. I'm baffled as to why he failed to do his homework and research this stuff. This is so disingenuous to his platform. He cannot be this aloof to what is going on with this school.
At you, like your bounce back game is crazy. You know what I mean? And for me, I know I was born to do what I'm doing. When you know why you here, you can put up with anyone. It's not a thing where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be building no school. You feel me? I don't have that. I know I'm supposed to do it, so I got to deal with whatever comes with it. So number one, I know I'm doing the work I was born to do. That's number one.
Yeah, that's
number two. I've never cared about what people thought too much. You know what I mean? Like
not even his own supporters. He could care less about what you all think as well. As a matter of fact, here's how little he cares. You could be a donor for 5 years straight. And the moment you ask him what's going on with the money, what's going on with the school, now all of a sudden you're an op or a hater or an enemy or a demon. You're evil. You're dumb. You're insignificant. And then he blocks you after 5 years of donating money to him. That is how easy it is for him to disown someone simply because they're asking for accountability. And the Danza Project is sitting there letting him say all of this bullshit. Because we all know that Umar lies. He's a pathological liar. We all know that. Anyone that knows enough of Umar with basic research knows that he's a pathological liar. But the Danza Project did not do any due diligence. Not even a little bit. Danza Project, please just release the whole interview. It's already a softball interview. Just release the whole damn thing.
People, they got to be viewed positively by outsiders. I don't.
They won't be like,
I don't care what people think or what people say. Yeah, and I believe my popularity had a lot to do with that too, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't know if it's going to hurt your feelings. I don't know if you're going to like it. I don't know if you're going to love it, but I'm going to be honest. And I think people have grown to appreciate the honesty of my message, because I get people stop me in the airport all the time. I don't agree with everything you say. You know what I mean? But you're consistent. Whereas a lot of these other guys out here who claim to be into the conscious.
What's the truth at again? He said he had buses. I put up a picture, shout out to Miss K, of a bus. And then his goonish clowns and cult members sitting here talking about that's not a bus. That's not his bus. Okay, so either he doesn't have buses and you have to admit he lied like hell, or you can prove that he has buses by showing me evidence of the buses he has. Until then, I'm going to assume that short blue, black, gray bus that needs a paint job, tires, needs the flares, stop sign, everything in between. It needs a whole engine probably. That thing's probably missing many parts. Basic stuff, like a battery. So show proof of the buses he does have. And a receipt or anything to show he paid for it. Because last time we saw him hugging a woman and then talking about, you want to, transport kids to the school? We need people that can, bring kids to the school. How's that a sign he bought a bus again? He's asking moms in minivans to help pick up kids and bring them to school, and yet he has buses. Do you understand why I have to keep pausing and reiterating the lies he's telling? Where you have video evidence to contradict his dumbass. Outrageous.
Movement, they not consistent. They'll flip-flop. 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, based on what gets the attention, what gets the money. I've never capitulated my position. You know what I mean? And I think thirdly, I practice Yoruba spirituality. And in Yoruba spirituality, you're born with a guardian angel, guardian spirit. Mine is Ogoonie. Ogoonie is the spirit of war, iron, perseverance, determination. Don't quit, work hard. Come on. That's my guardian spirit. You feel me? So I got to keep going. You know what I mean? So I think that's how I'm able to put up with it.
Oh my God. What is he putting up with again? This is the same moron that tried to sue Lennon and had his case dismissed for failure to prosecute and failing to either pay the court fees, because he could have just paid the court fees with donation money, right? Or filling out a petition for informal purpose because, he's either in prison or you're just a pauper and you're really broke and you don't have the money. The court had to order him to either pay the fees or do the petition, and he failed to do it. And his lawsuit against Lennon was dismissed for failure to prosecute. You can't make this shit up. So even when he's trying to so-called do something to us YouTube struggle streamers and all this nonsense he keeps saying, because that's what he truly is on the inside, he can't even get a petition processed and running through the court because he doesn't even want to pay the fee. Let's not forget the fact that he gave a settlement to Marianne Lorien for $68,600. But yet, he can't show one vendor invoice at all about any work he paid someone to do. Shout out to the IRS, who's definitely going to be investigating his dumb ass. Shout out to them. Shout out to the FBI. Umar, you claim that you're so honest. Let's go back again, because I want this to hammer home. Let me tell y'all something. He's going to regret saying this.
Spirituality. And in Yoruba spirituality, you're born with a guardian angel, guardian spirit. Mine is Ogoonie.
Hold on.
Too much. When you know why you here, you can put up with any what. It's not a thing where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be building those schools. You feel me? I don't have that.
No doubt.
I know I'm supposed to do it, so I got to deal with whatever comes with it. So number one, I know I'm doing the work I was born to do. That's number one. Number two, I've never cared about what people thought too much. You know what I mean? Like some people, they got to be viewed positively by outsiders. I don't. I don't care what people think or what people say. And I believe my popularity had a lot to do with that too, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't know if it's going to hurt your feelings.
So why dox and sue people for, giving their criticism of you? Why did you dox Lennon? Why did you dox Lennon Stacks? Why are you doxing people? Because they're speaking out against you. If you don't care what anyone says, why do you send out Goonie goons to pull up on somebody in person as if SWAT can't take care of their ass right then and there? Why are you releasing personal identifiable information if you don't care about someone's opinion? You do realize, Umar, that is a response you're giving to people who are speaking the truth about you. And you just don't like it, because you're throwing a man baby tantrum and all. So why even do any of that if you don't care what people think? This is the contradiction that he is. He's definitely going to regret saying these words. I'm telling you right now, because they're going to boomerang on his ass and it's going to really hurt.
I don't know if you're going to like it. I don't know if you're going to love it, but I'm going to be honest. And I think people have grown to appreciate the honesty of my...
Pause. Okay, so those words right there, I want you all to look at that. I think people have grown to appreciate the honesty because he said he's going to be honest. So, Umar, I'm going to hold you to that. When the IRS and the FBI comes questioning your dumb ass, I want you to remember you said these words in this video. So we don't expect you to lie to any investigator with regards to you doing cyber crimes or taking money from people and lying like hell or lying about the accounts being frozen. I don't want to hear shit. When you get questioned, make sure you're honest with them, because that's what people have grown to appreciate about you, right? That means you should not lie to any federal agent or investigator whatsoever from any federal branch of government. I hope they depose his ass. So, this is what's so interesting to me. This is why I hope that the what's his name, August Archibald, files the new lawsuit, because he can get him deposed. And if you get Umar under oath, you get him on a stand, you place him under oath, and you do a full deposition on him, at some point, his dumb ass is going to perjure himself. See, that's one of the perks to having someone suing him, is that they will have an opportunity to depose him. All the stuff he's saying on YouTube, I can guarantee you he would not ever repeat in court under the penalty of perjury. And if he's dumb enough to do that, then he definitely would deserve, perjury charges at the very least. This is unbelievable. Keep that energy up, Umar. When the IRS comes for your ass, keep that energy up. Don't sit here and act like you, they just putting words in my mouth. Yeah, okay. Now keep that energy up. You said it yourself. You're going to be honest. So when they put your ass under oath, be honest.
Because I get people stop me in the airport all the time. I don't agree with everything you say. You know what I mean? But you're consistent. Whereas a lot of these other guys out here who claim to be into the conscious movement, they not consistent. They'll flip-flop. 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, based on what gets the attention, what gets the money. Mm-hmm. I've never capitulated my position. You know what I mean? And I think thirdly, I practice Yoruba spirituality. And in Yoruba spirituality, you're born with a guardian angel, guardian spirit. Mine is Ogoonie. Ogoonie is the spirit of war, iron, perseverance, determination. Don't quit, work hard. Come on. That's my guardian spirit. You feel me? So I got to keep going. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think that's how I'm able to put up with it.
Yeah, okay.